Good evening. Welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. And now, for your host, Kimberly McElmore.
Woohoo! All right. Hello. Welcome to a special edition of the WSBI podcast program. This evening, you will be spending moments with Lady K and
Mistah T.
All right. Welcome, Mr. T. And also, we have a very special guest with us today. So we're going to get him chimed in a little bit. We have Dr. Larry White Sr., who's going to be chiming in with us, who is the owner and operator of VIPeVENTS Concierge LLC. So he's going to be coming on shortly and talking to us about some great things going on in the community, some good events, and telling us a little bit about himself. But before we dive into all of that, Mr. T, why don't you just, tell us a little bit about you, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what the main topic is going to be about for the evening.
Sounds good. Well, hello, Lady K. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Look, I was waking up this morning praying it was actually Friday, but you know how that goes, or actually Saturday, it's like, ooh, it's been a crazy week, but, it's been a good one, and, great things are happening, so I'm really excited about having this live podcast this evening because we got so much to talk about. So,
I know.
Tell everybody just a little bit about yourself before we start diving into things, and then we're going to try to get, Dr. White chimed in on here so we can move on with the rest of the program.
All right. Well, thank you, Lady K, for that marvelous intro, by the way. But hello, listeners. My name is Mistah T. Everybody calls me T, and I enjoy being called T. It's all right. I used to hate that, but now I love it, so it's totally okay. For me, once again, to remind our listeners, I am a grownish, because I said that last time, a grownish young professional male living in the DMV area. Although I wish I had trademarked that term grownish before the series came out, because now there's like a TV sitcom or a show out that's part of Blackish, and I don't know if I can throw names out there, but I'm throwing them out there anyway. But so I'm like, oh, dang, I should have coined that like last year, but I was thinking about that. So anyway, I'm here. I am ready to be fun and fabulous, and I'm feeling well today. So that's a little bit about me.
All right. Well, there's a lot more about you, but we'll get to that part in just a little bit. But just to
we shall.
Yeah. We have an hour show, everybody. So we've got a lot to cover. But I'm gonna just give you a little bit of background about myself, of course. And as they call me, I am author Kimberly McElmore, and I am a motivational speaker, as well as I am the owner and a CEO and founder of the Women's Small Business Initiative, which is an LLC here in the DMV area, which is actually an online platform type of a program and for women-owned businesses. So, I'll talk more about that another time, because tonight we're here to talk about some other fun things. But, there's a lot going on, and, we have a lot to cover. One of the things that we are going to be covering tonight, and our big topic is your word is bond. So, that's going to be a special piece that I, really want to kind of focus on just a little bit. And before we get into some of the other great things that we talk about on the show, which we got some shout out reminders, we got some fashion tips we're going to talk about, and of course some of the great things that are going on in our communities. And that's when we're going to bring on Dr. Larry White Sr. when he's having a few difficulties with some technical problems. So he's trying to sign in, and he is having a hard time right now. But I tell him, we're gonna wait on you. We got time.
Yeah.
So
he's right there.
Yeah, he's like right there at the tip, trying to get called in. Trying to chime in with us, and we'll know when he's on. So I just tell him I'll let him know when he can call in. Hopefully he can get signed up soon. But it's April. So before we talk about our little topic of discussion, let's just have a little quick shout out and some reminders. You want to handle that for me, Mr. T?
Yeah, I would love to. For the, I guess starting off with April, technically the beginning of the month, but I guess we're kind of a few days into it, like 12 days into it. A little party anthem for everybody. If you got a birthday in April, make some noise.
Whoop, whoop. Ow. Uh-oh.
All right, jam a little bit. Dance.
There you go. And we have a lot of people in the month of April. I mean, it's been crazy. And I want to take a real quick shout out to Miss Tanja White because her birthday is coming up on Saturday. Woo.
Feliz cumple.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No. I mean, it's cool because, I'm just excited because we are, for the first time going to be celebrating our birthdays together because we're like 4 days apart. So it was her grand idea to put us together. So, like I said, there's a whole lot of other great birthdays out there. So, I hope everybody, enjoys this month of April. And I'm praying that spring is going to be finally here to stay instead of us going back and forth to Christmas weather and winter weather and the stuff that we didn't see during that time frame, and now all of a sudden we're seeing it now. So
we have not seen it in so long, and today was a great day. It was nice and warm today.
Yeah,
Did you enjoy the weather this afternoon?
Well, unfortunately, no. I've been, I have another part of my life where beyond having a business, I still work. A 9 to 5, and I was working my 9 to 5. And then we had to do an all hands meeting, so that was an extra 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, I got to go. I got to go, people. So it has been a long day. Did not have an ounce of opportunity to enjoy any of this great weather today, but it's okay because right now that helps pay the bills. So you got to do what you got to do.
True.
You got to do what you got to do. But that's just another part of my life. But this part of my life is the part that I love the most because we get an opportunity to actually share, with everybody. And it's just amazing, to be able to sit here in the comfort of our homes and have this awesome podcast, which is on iHeartRadio, which is another woohoo. It took me, a year to get this on, to get approved to get on iHeart. So I'm just ecstatic about all the great accomplishments that this show has been doing. And now we got this new one here with, moments with Mr. Lady K and Mr. T. I mean, hey, what more could you ask for? What more could you ask for, right? And
right.
Okay. And so, we're still waiting, of course, to see if we can get Mr. Dr. Larry White Sr. on, and hopefully he can get through soon. But we got plenty of other things we could talk about, and if he doesn't get on there, I can cover all the things that I think he would probably be talking about anyway. But there's some other great things that are going. Well, I don't know about if this part is great, if that goes on during the month of April, which happens every year around this time of year. Do you know what that is? I
do think I know what you're talking about, and one of those days kind of really sucks for some people.
Yeah, it's that thing called taxes. Ooh, it is coming. If you haven't already taken care of your business, people, you need to take care of it. Next week is April 17th, which is tax day. And the one thing that I found out that was new this year that I thought was interesting is that if you actually owe money, if you do not have it paid back this year on the 17th, you will have a huge penalty coming to you. So for those who haven't got the taxes done and then they find out later on they have some money they owe, you're going to be paying the same day that you do find out. I don't even know what the penalty part is, but I'm glad I didn't have to worry about that this year. I was like, Lord, thank you, Jesus. I don't have to pay nothing. All I care about, I don't even care if I get anything back as long as I ain't got to pay nothing. But, I took care of that part, which is a good thing. And then we also have another special day in the month of April, which is on the 25th coming up, which is Administrative Secretary's Day. As what we the formal word now today is Administrative Day. They don't call it Secretary's Day, but hey, us old school people, we enjoy calling it what it is. It's Secretary's Day, and there's nothing to be shameful about being a secretary. So I don't know why they changed that name, but you know how things get. I guess people got to be politically correct these days, right?
Right. But the only thing is with secretaries, like the whole thing is administrative, but we all know that they are the ones who truly, truly run the day-to-day operation. They're the ones really in control. If you're a secretary or an administrative specialist or an administrative assistant, you are the one that's really running the show. People come to you because you are the true boss. You are the shot caller.
Exactly. And that's the key, And so I always laugh when, we have to hear about all these changes so we don't upset people. But, when it was old school, it was old school and it was okay. It was okay.
Yes.
But, I think now is a good time to kind of talk about a little topic of discussion, and then hopefully by then we will hopefully be able to get our famous special guests on here afterwards, because we do have a lot of other great topics we will be talking about. But I really kind of wanted to focus this evening on what the meaning of your word is bond. A lot of people, it's kind of an old school word. It's an old school topic that we've used for throughout the years. And, I think what a lot of people don't understand is that all it means is that you do what you say and you keep your promise. And, we live in a world today where everybody is about, it's about, I don't want to say it with being politically correct without upsetting any of our listeners, should I say? But
don't be afraid. Go ahead.
It's one of the things. It's a topic for me that I kind of sometimes it rubs me either the right way or the wrong way, and I think it's because people don't really understand what the meaning of your word is bond. Back in the day, and it still happens a lot, especially with men, when they have a topic of conversation or they're doing a deal. 90% of the time they can shake hands and boom, their word is bond. They say what they're going to do and they keep that deal going and they build, make new business that way. And what I'm finding, it seems like today, is that you have a lot of people who say they're going to do things, but they never live up to what they're going to do. And it just bothers me. I don't care if it's something as simple as basic customer service. It's just not there, and you have to stretch it out of people, and you shouldn't have to do that. It's like, if I'm coming to your facility or your organization, I have certain expectations, and we are losing a lot of those things because people are not willing to do what they say that they're promising that they're going to do. And I don't know how you feel about that, Mr. T, but that's just kind of a sticking point with me. And I guess maybe because I am old school, I'm in my 50s, so this is the things that were expected. It wasn't asked, when we were coming up. And now today you got to pull teeth just to get it done. What's your thought process on it?
Oh, let me just let that out. Oh.
Well, I see that I'm not the only one, right?
You are not the only one. So, about word is bond. Oh my gosh. People keeping their promises, living up to what you say you're going to do. Mm-hmm. That means so much to me in so many ways. And I'm not sure where to start in my story that I wanted to share today once we decided on our topic. But I'm just gonna dive right in. So okay. So truly, your word is your bond. And I'm not so far from where you're at age-wise. That's why I say grown-ish. Mm-hmm. I still get carded, and I like to keep it that way. So I like showing my ID, and people are like, "Oh, here, how old are you?" I'm not sure. One lady even told me one time, "Well, Black people, because I'm Black, for those of you who don't know, are like, oh, Black people, sometimes I can't tell." And I'm like, "Thank you. Mm-hmm. Just know that I am over 30-ish, but younger than 60-ish. So I'm younger than my mother, but I'm older than where I was." So there you go. Anyway.
Right. But hey, nowadays age is really truly a number.
It's
funny, because I can remember growing up where I used to hear this thing, and I think I've talked about this before on some of my other programs where it's like the golden years. I'm like, what the hell is the golden years? I'm like, and you look at these people on TV, I'm like, oh, I gotta wait till I'm 70, 80 years old to enjoy my life. I'm like, I don't think I want to be on no beach. Hey. I don't want to be looking crazy at 70. But today it's so different where, back then people were preparing to sit in the rocker chairs at my age at 50, where that's not the reality today, So age is truly a number. It's just about a number, and, because people are really trying to take better care of themselves. We're living longer. and because of the things that we're doing differently. So, it's okay to be grownish. It's okay to admit that, you're in your 40s. And I love admitting the fact that I'm in my 50s. I mean, I finally have gotten used to it. And, when I look in the mirror, I don't see 50. But there are days I have to admit I do feel it.
Hey.
I've been like, wait a minute.
Like
yeah.
I'm dancing. Like, own it. Do the nene, do the whip, all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But,
But going back into talking about your word is bond, because that's what our topic is today. I feel like I need to get kind of serious for a moment, because for me, it brought back some thoughts from my childhood, and just growing up, because I grew up with in a single parent home with my mother raising two boys, and like my mother was so awesome with how she would show up to events. I was an overachiever, honors, band, choir, this, that, everything. I was involved in it. And, being a single parent, you are in a situation where you have one or multiple children that you have to split your time between and treat them as individuals, which she did. Between my brother and I, and also working and having to live her life, outside of us, outside of being mom, she was also who she is. I don't want to say her name on the internet in case she's like, don't say my name.
Right.
She was like, I can see my mom now, but seriously, like I was so involved in so many things. That, in high school, in junior high school, in elementary school, you have all these events going on, and sometimes she just couldn't be there. She had to either be at work or maybe go to my brother's assembly or go to my brother's practice or my brother's whatever that was going on, or spend her time between me. And sometimes she's like, I can't be at either one of those things. I have to be at work. And so, but she was honest about that. And I really appreciated that part about her. Now, my father, this is where I go a little bit more personal, and I don't share this very often. And I tussle with sharing this kind of online, but I'm like, I'm gonna put it out there. My father and I do not have a relationship at this point in my life. I'll just say that starting, because I'm 40, so I'm not grownish anymore, y'all. I'm 40, period. There we
go. Woo-hoo,
I'm 40, period.
Yeah. Let it go. Let it go. That's right.
I'll be 40-ish next month. So I'll be playing the birthday song in June when we come back. But that's a whole other story. But anyway, so going back to the story, to get serious for a moment, like my father was the complete opposite of my mother. And it was something where he just kind of showed up very sporadically. And he would show up, and it was supposed to be all about him when he was there. And it was because maybe someone said something like, how's your son doing? How's your child doing? Because I was his firstborn, at least as far as I know. And as far as I know, even to this day, I'm his only son. And it was a situation where he would just pop up out of nowhere, and it was supposed to be all about him. And he would say, oh, I'm coming back. I'll be here next weekend to hang out with you to do X, Y, and Z. And then next weekend would come, and then there would be no dad.
Right.
And so that kind of continued for a period of time. And eventually I learned that, he shows up when he wants to, and then he disappears. And that kind of situation shapes your view of people, of men, of elders, of just various types of people. It skews it affects your, not skewed, but it affects your view of how you perceive people. And so here on the one side, I have my mother who kept her word. Even if she could not be there, she would say, I'm not able to be there. And then you have this other person who's your dad, who is flip-flopping back and forth. And there was one time, and this is very personal. I think this is the day I woke up, and I'm sorry to get so personal. Oh, actually, I'm not so sorry to get so personal. I'm just being honest. There was one weekend he said he was coming back the following weekend, and I was waiting for my father.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at the front door with the door open and the screen door was closed, and I'm looking out and it's raining. It's like raining like horribly. And I was so upset. Like, Lady K, you don't know how upset I was. I was so mad that growing up in the church, I was actually mad at God for a moment, where I thought that because he was making it rain so hard, that's what was keeping my father from coming to me that day. So I'm arguing with God, like actually verbally, and I didn't even realize it until my mother said something. She was actually in the corner of the living room on the opposite side behind me. She was so quiet, and I was talking to God, just being very, very verbal. And I was just like, I'm so mad, blah blah blah. I can't remember everything I said. I remember being so mad. And then my mom was like, "Who are you talking to?" I guess to kind of break wherever I was going. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to God. I was having a moment, I'm like 7 or 8 years old, trying to clean it up, trying to figure out, oh my God, somebody just heard me talking to myself. Oh, but that was a pivotal moment that shaped my view. And this same man continued throughout my life, throughout my teenage years, to kind of pop up whenever it was convenient. When he went on to marry someone else, and when he would show up, it was because his wife asked him, have you talked to Tarek lately? My name is Tarek, by the way. Right. Have you talked to him lately? Have you seen him? Have you communicated with him? And so that in and of itself, and I'm sorry to go for so long, viewers, but that kind of shaped my view of people, that people are changeable. And that let me kind of I learned a whole lot from that, because my mom was someone who was so like, I'm going to be there for you. But of course, mothers, as I've learned, as I've gotten older, mothers, and you are a mother, and I know that you know this, Lady K, will do anything for their children, and anything within their power. But fathers sometimes don't do that, and it's not something to put men against women. But it shaped my view of a lot of things in a lot of ways. Right. And that's when I started learning about, the power of, your word being your bond. Mm-hmm. Here it is. I'm a child, and I'm expectant, and I'm ready, and I'm innocent. And I'm like, you say you're going to be here next week, and we're going to have fun again. And then the next week you don't come. Right. So your promise is now broken. Your word is now broken. Your accountability is especially consistently over a period of time, it gets called into question. So where I am now, just to skyrocket forward to where I am at 40 years old, is when I say to people that I'm going to be somewhere, whether it's a dance fitness event or subbing a class or just showing up to support, I make sure that my schedule is cleared before I agree to that, because I want to make sure that I can actually be present and be available for that. And when I can't, as soon as I know that, I have something that conflicts with that, I let the person know. But I try not to sign on to things that I'm not ready for. If I'm not sure, I'm like, I think I have something going on that day. And I'm starting to say that more and more every day. You and I both know this from the way our lives are going. I'm like, I'm not sure I can be at that, but let me check my schedule. And I look at my schedule. I have something else going on that day. I would love to be at your event. I'll be happy to promote it, but I cannot be there. I need to be somewhere else. That might be in another state. It might be hours away. It could be across the country, and potentially even internationally. So I don't like to commit myself until I know that I can fully be there and fully be involved and engaged in the situation. Right. So I believe your word is your bond. But that's enough about me talking, because I've been talking for how long now?
I just want to say, I hear your frustration, and I understand, and I have a son who's been through that same process. The harder part for him, and even for me, was the fact that he never showed up. It was one of those, I'm coming, or, it was the situation, well, we're not going to be together, so, both of y'all are out of my life, which was it's something that we've, had to deal with for many years, but, we let it go. We've learned to hold on to what we have, and we're a family, and we know that there are people in our family that love us, and believe me, it doesn't happen Men aren't the only culprits. Women do it too. There are many women out
Yes.
here who aren't, they don't keep their word either. They're living their lives and they're doing their thing, and they forget about what they've brought into the world. And one thing I have always promised my child, my son, I love him dearly, and I tell you would never want for anything. I didn't need to have the other half in order to make sure that my son was going to have what he needed, because he didn't ask to be brought here. So it's our responsibility to make sure that our children are taken care of, period.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
So, he's turned out to be a phenomenal young man. He's still growing into his manhood and doing the things that he wants to do and accomplish. And I couldn't ask for a better child. And we didn't need to have the other half. It would have been great, if he would have been a part of his life. But like I was telling him, he missed out. We didn't miss out. He missed out. So that's the same thing for you. Your mother's done a phenomenal job with you. You are becoming the man that you want to be and have been. You're growing, and you're going to continue to grow. And that's what it's all about. You are sticking to your word and the promise that you made to yourself and to your mother. And that's what counts.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
All right.
Amen. And shout out to your son, because he's awesome. Ladies, he is single, so and available. So if you're interested, you got to go through Kimberly first.
That's
Lady
right.
K,
Mm-hmm.
and then me. To make sure that
Exactly,
you're
because
okay.
they got a whole line of people they got to get approval for. That's right. He's special.
That's right.
That's right. He's special. So we got, can't have, I won't go that deep, but we're going to let that one go. We just can't have anything running up in here, put it that way. So.
That's right.
So anyway, all righty. So, we're going to move on. I got a note from our special guest tonight, and he's not going to be able to come on. The technical difficulties are killing him right now, and so he's, not happy about it, but we're going to cover everything that I know that Dr. Larry White Sr. would want to talk about this evening. So we'll get on to that in just a few minutes, but we have some other topics that we always like to throw into the mix, and let's talk about some of the fashion tips, because you always got some great fashion tips for everybody. What you got for us tonight?
Like fashion, turn to the left. Fashion, now turn to the right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
The
I
next
was
thing
having
you
a
know,
moment.
we're gonna be live where people can see you start doing your little fashion dance. Okay.
I know. So, and then people will see it and they'll be like, "Oh, yes, I want to do that when I'm in the club." And I'm like, "That's okay, as long as you do it to the right song,
Exactly.
Anything by Beyonce is fine."
Right.
So.
Yeah, we're gonna have one of our talk shows will be strictly about Beyonce, and we're gonna let you roll, because I know you love B. I know you love B. So.
All the way, all day.
Oh my goodness.
I know our listeners are probably like, "What did I sign on to? I don't know what this is about."
But see, that's the beauty about this show. When we say this is Moments with Lady K and Mistah T, this is exactly what we're talking about. We have these special moments of inspiration. We have special moments that, we talk about that are just free. We're freewheeling on this show because, we ring it in, and we bring some valuable content, but we really want people to realize that we are human beings. We have our lives, we have our business lives, and, we have our talk show, but this talk show is one of these shows where we're really trying to cover some great fun things, that go on with us, but as well what's going on in our communities, right here in the DMV area. So, hey, it's cool. So if people chiming in, if you're not into this, we understand, but we know that most people really enjoy having opportunities to sit back and chill in their home and listen to something that's fun, but they're also getting something that they can connect with. So you know what? I need for you to connect with me on these fashion tips, sir.
I am so ready to give you everything that you need to go forward into spring and potentially into summer.
Yeah, I think we're going to skip spring. I think we're going to skip spring and just jump right into December, because it was almost 70-something today, and then talking about, 85, 80-something this weekend or whatever. So I think we're going to...
This weekend?
Yeah, I think we're going to skip spring, but, it's okay.
Yeah, but then I heard, next week it's supposed to dip down into the 40s or 50s, so I don't know what's going on right now.
Don't tell me that right now.
I say that Mother Nature is mad at Old Man Winter because he did not give her the rock that he promised her. So she's mad. So she's taking it out on us. She's so mad at us.
Yeah, she's doing a doozy. I just need a little bit more balance, because like we were talking earlier, before we came on, how our allergies are just going crazy. I mean, you wake up one day and perfectly fine, and the next minute
I feel so stuffed.
Yeah, I'm sneezing like I've lost my head off my shoulders. Are just rolling off by themselves. I'm like, what is going on? And a part of it is because we got the pollution going on. We got all this pollen, all this mixture of everything, and nothing's being cleaned up. So, I guess we just got to keep going with it. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go on to your fashion tips, sir. Fashion tips.
All right. Well, going to the fashion tips. While I'm sniffing my eucalyptus oil. Yes, I have some eucalyptus oil to help me feel better. By the way, folks, it's not a fashion tip, but a health tip. Eucalyptus oil and spearmint oil, peppermint oil. Those are good things to have around you, especially when you're not feeling well. Just give them a little sniff. Buy your favorite and do your thing. I don't have a marketing employee there, so that's kind of like something for those folks that want to market their oils to say, hey, we need Lady K and Mistah T to market our oils. So
there you
get
go.
into it. Get into it.
There
get
you
into
go.
it. All right, but going into the fashion tips. So I've done some extensive research because I like fashion, as you know. My first two things are actually traditional and nothing new. It's spring. So like wearing pastels and implementing pastels and florals into your wardrobe is something very easy you can do. It doesn't have to be anything that takes over your wardrobe, but it's something that helps usher people into the season. Just offering a lavender or a soft pink or a yellow make a huge difference in whatever you're wearing. And by whatever you're wearing, some people think, I have to wear something of this particular color to make a statement. So I'll have to wear a shirt or pants or a skirt or a dress. Not necessarily. Accessories make a whole difference. You can wear like a white shirt with khaki pants or a khaki skirt if you're a lady or a man. No judgment. Whatever you're into. But then pair it with something that's a softer color, like a soft pink or a lavender, something in those sorbet colors, those pastels, or a floral, like a belt, a tie, a scarf, a hat or a cap, maybe a bag. That adds a whole different element to your wardrobe. And people are like, oh, wow, you look so nice today. You look so bright and fresh and ready. And all you did was add in something really small to your wardrobe. And they're like, wow, you took your traditional wardrobe to a whole new level. And then the other piece, and I'm going to credit Eddie Murphy's Boomerang with this piece. Are you ready, Lady K? Are you ready?
Okay. What do we got going on here?
The trench coat.
I love the trench coat. But the trench coat is fly. Okay.
It is.
It is fly.
Not only is it fly, but it's an item that you can use across multiple seasons. So you can use it in the spring or the fall. Mm-hmm. You can use it in the winter. I've never really seen anybody wear a trench coat in the summer, but I'm sure somebody somewhere is doing that. But whatever.
Some people are like, I've actually seen people like they shouldn't be wearing leather coats in the summertime. You're like, really? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, what are you?
Exactly.
So hey, you never know, right? You never.
You never know. But with the trench coat, it's something that applies to both genders, to male and female. Now, some guys are probably listening like, I'm not wearing no lavender or florals in my wardrobe, but you can have a trench coat. So I'm like, you can have a trench coat. It's classic. You can have it tailored to your body. As a matter of fact, with trench coats, many trench coats these days are have a lining within them, so you can remove it.
That's right.
In the spring, and then put it back in the fall, so that way you can be warmer. So it works both ways. And once again, if anybody remembers Eddie Murphy's Boomerang, the pivotal scene when Robin Givens' character showed up to Eddie Murphy's character's apartment late at night from some long flight, quote unquote, that was a magical moment. You can have many magical moments in a trench coat. Just don't do it in public.
Oh, Yeah, well,
Not in public.
Yeah, well, we got a few special people out here in the world, so it is what it is, but we will help those. We will help those.
That we
Okay.
do. That we do.
Yes,
As a matter of
yes.
fact, in the local DC news, I saw that somebody on the metro was like arrested for being nude, and he was like attacking people, but not really attacking them. I guess he was just like in their face or something.
Yeah,
but
well, that's attack. That's what they call it, in your space.
in your space. In your space.
Yeah, it's one thing that you run around here with no clothes on, but it's another thing that you are actually in my space. So
Exactly. DC is not New York, so in New York, I'm sure you see all sorts of things, but in DC, we see some things too. Thank God I didn't see it because I'm in my car when I go to work. But anyway.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
But I have a couple more things to go about fashion tips because I pulled a couple of different things just to kind of talk about. So we talked about wearing pastels and florals and bringing in a trench coat into your wardrobe. A big thing that was on the runways last season, well, not last season, but in the fall, because the way they do fashion shows is always a couple of seasons ahead, was sheer. So, like, you can wear sheer items even to work. Now,
I've seen a lot of people do that. It's becoming more prevalent, but I don't know. I just have my old-fashioned way about it, because sometimes it's a little bit too sheer. Okay.
Well, it's a very that line is a tiptoe line. Now, you don't want to be at the Cha-Cha Palace or the Crystal Club. So you got to remember when you're doing sheer that when you do something sheer, specifically for the ladies, but sometimes for the guys, because guys can wear sheer too,
right?
That you should pair it over something that's like I call it an easy wear item, like a tank top or a muscle shirt or something. For the ladies, maybe a camisole. You should pair it with something that underneath that's solid that you can't see through. And even with on the runways, a couple of seasons ago, when they were introducing the spring lines, is they were doing sheer over sheer. So depending on where you work, if it's a really upscale, tailored environment, you can do your sheer over sheer. Just remember, sheer is not fishnet, so we should not be able to see through what you're wearing. It just should be mildly covered. So just depending on your work environment, and where you work, listeners.
Right.
So if you're in an office, in a cubicle, and Betty's behind you, and Kimberly, you know who Betty is, and I'm calling out Betty, but or whomever is around you, you want to make sure that you're still dressed office appropriate.
Exactly.
So sheer might not work at all in your environment, but if you're going to do that, just remember to pair it with something that is office friendly. Also, art inspired prints were really, 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 really big, and are really, really big for this spring season. So, like, it could be your shirt, your belt, your pants, a skirt, a dress, anything. And when I say art inspired, it's not just like cartoon works, but classic artwork as well. Think about the Da Vinci or some wonderful painting. Maybe you took a picture on your phone and it was like, oh, this is really, really awesome.
Right.
Take that graphic design and turn it into a T-shirt and wear that. And then it increases the value of what you're wearing. And you're able to wear it out in public. And people are like, where did you get that? And you're like, oh, I made it. Or I got it from the store. So think about that. And so art-inspired works are very in art. So art. Think Andy Warhol. Think, I'm at a loss for words now. I'm a blank. But I think major artworks. I should have made a little note about that right there. But even in cartoons, and not like Bart Simpson kind of cartoons.
Right.
But think about like an entire strip, like something from the Sunday comics that's completely splayed across your shirt to make a really, really, really good statement.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. I think, different strokes for different folks. The taste is going to be different. But like you said, with the combinations that you're bringing up, they can be done very elegantly, and they can just be fun, So
exactly.
That's the key.
But
one more thing.
One more thing. Okay. I got one last thing.
Okay.
And it's so important because this is the most important part of what we talked about at the beginning of this whole segment right here.
Okay.
Lady K, are you ready?
Oh, I'm sitting in my chair. I'm about ready to fall over. What you got?
Okay. Spring is the return of short season. And our Oprah Winfrey boy.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, well, for some people, them shorts are little. Some people don't wear them appropriately. They can be a little bit too short, and we're showing too much. So, tell us how we're supposed to wear our shorts.
Well, number one, you should wear them appropriately for your environment. That's number one. Number two, you should wear them after you've done your squats and your lunges. So going back to number one, being appropriate to your environment. If you're going to work and they allow you to wear shorts, I don't work in an environment where you can wear shorts. I've never worked in an environment where you can wear shorts.
Right, ever.
So, yeah, it's like it's a no-no across the board. Male, female, whatever. But there should be at least to your knee, like below your knee. So for women, it would be like I think they call it a capri, or I think they used to call them clam diggers back in the day.
Okay.
But it should be something longer. Women can get away with that. Men, if you're wearing a short that's long, that's basically a high water pant. Just choose, are you wearing pants or shorts?
Right.
Number one. But, right. But in addition to that, I think my biggest thing is just when you're wearing shorts, which usually is when you're going out to a recreational event. So you're going out after work, you're going out on the weekend, wherever it's at, you should make sure it is appropriate for where you're going. So if you're at a Little League football game or a T-ball game, the Daisy Dukes can be left at home for private time. But I'm just saying, just leave them at home. However, khakis are a good way to go.
Right.
Khaki in whatever variation, whatever color you have, because they're dark khakis, there are lighter khakis, because for some reason khaki seems to run a whole gamut, and they call it nude, tan, and other things now. But basically, it all falls under khaki. Just know where you're going, what it's appropriate for. But like when it's short season, so whether you're wearing khakis or gym shorts or whatever, this is gym season, y'all. So get your squats in. Do those 3 sets of 16, in your bedroom before you go to bed and when you get up in the morning. Add some weight to it. Do some lunges, because we all want our legs to look good when we're showing them off, right?
You're right. Yeah. So in other words, take care of yourself so you can look good in the products that you want to wear. I mean, it's just that simple, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle for everybody. We all go through that when you look in the mirror, that moment, and you be like, wait a minute, this just right here is not working. Okay, it looked cute on that hanger when I bought it, but then when I put it on again, it's like, not working. But
it's not the same.
We've got only about 15 more minutes left in our show, so we need to move on to some of the upcoming events, and we need to get on to our closeout. So we're going to get through some of these, and because again, I just wanted to let everybody know that Dr. Larry White Sr. sends his apologies for not being able to come on this evening with all the technical difficulties he was having trying to chime in. But so I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the great events that he has upcoming. And the greater part about it is that we do a lot of collaboration together. And, I really have to applaud Dr. Larry White Sr. because he has just been a phenomenal part of my life in helping me, putting me on a platform that I probably would have never had with my business. So, working with him has been amazing. And I know for those, if you're following me on Facebook through my personal page and through my WSBI business page and through my author, Kimberly McLemore, Facebook page, you can see a lot of the things that I've done, and as well as, like I say, collaborating with Larry. So it's just been a phenomenal thing. And so what I'm going to do is go through a few things that we have coming up that he is hosting that I think that if you're in the area, you need to get involved. One of the things I want to talk about quickly is investing in yourself. We have a corporate leadership workshop coming up on April the 19th, which is next Thursday. And that's going to be at 9 o'clock. And the topic of it is going to be based off of strategies of using LinkedIn, marketing, branding, advertising, business development, and Microsoft Office Suite. It's going to be located out at the Microsoft store in Tysons, and it's going to be on the second floor, so it's over off of Chainbridge Road. But like I said, it's a great event. We've got about 20 slots left. We have some amazing facilitators that are going to be doing that. And I'm going to give you that information here in a second. So let me just bring it up because I need to get that up. I was trying to get up before you finished talking, but I was so into what you were talking about that I forgot what I was supposed to be saying over here.
You was following me, boo. You was following me. You was with me.
See, that's how it works. That's how we roll. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. That is how we roll. But it's going to be a great event. And if, like I said, if you're in the area and you're looking for understanding how to brand yourself in your business, it's going to be a powerful opportunity for you to be involved. And for those who, like I said, are following us, and Dr. Larry White is always on posting online, so there's more information out there. I will find that information again to give you who is actually going to be facilitating. We got 3 of the gentlemen, and of course Dr. Larry White is one of them, and we've got Robert and Antoine. I can never say this man's last name right. I apologize, Robert. I'm telling you now, but he is one of the other facilitators. And then I want to find the other one, but my mind is going crazy. I can't remember. Ooh. But while I'm trying to think about that, I do want to bring up the fact that we also have coming up on Saturday, which is April the 14th, for those who are interested in cruising. If you've never been on a cruise, you need to come to Bermuda with us. Bermuda is going to be done. This trip on the cruise will be in 2019. It's going to be June 8th through the 13th. It is going to be another amazing opportunity. We're going to have an actual phone call, which will explain what we'll be doing in the cruise. We'll talk about the payments. We're going to talk about what is going to be happening from June 8th through the 13th. I mean, we're going to have an all-white party. We're going to have brunch and workshop, empowerment workshop. We're going to be doing red carpet VIP receptions in the evening. And, of course, we're going to be docked in Bermuda for a couple of days. And then, of course, we'll be cruising back. So we have a lot to talk about on that, on Saturday. And it's going to be at 4 in the evening. I'm just trying to find here real quick the actual phone number. So for those who might be interested in calling in and would like to learn more about the actual cruise that is coming up, I think it would be great. And as I'm looking for that, the other thing I'm going to bring up is that we also have, for me personally, I have some things coming up I'm real excited about. For those know that I am an author, so I've had a couple of book signings, and that's been fantastic. Beyond being an author, I just actually yesterday I was real excited about having the opportunity to be on the small biz chat with Miss Melinda Emerson on her program yesterday. So that was really awesome to have an opportunity to get out here and talk about strategies of marketing strategies for small businesses. So if your phones were going crazy and your laptops were going crazy yesterday because of all the million tweets, that was me. That was us having this conversation. I mean, it was hilarious because I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I didn't realize, how many tweets was going to go out. I think we had like 70 or 80 people, but it just brought my tweet following up like crazy. So it was great. But one thing I'm going to track back here real quick on the Microsoft Corporate Leadership Workshop, like I said, is on April the 19th. And Dr. Larry White Sr. is the actual host for this. And then, like I said, we're going to have Dr. Keith Hartley Jr. was the other gentleman I wanted to bring up. And the topics of strategies of using LinkedIn, marketing, branding, advertising, business development, Microsoft Sway. And there's going to be a complimentary breakfast, and there's free parking. So if you want to learn more, like I said, please chime in into our Facebook pages and get more of that information. And now I'm just trying to find some information on the cruise because I want to make sure that we definitely talk about that. You want to talk about a couple events while I'm looking for that information real quick? We got like 10 moments before we chime out.
I would love to do that, my dear. I would love to do that. So while you're looking for that, go ahead and go into your keyboard. Listeners, I got you covered. This weekend, if you are in the DMV, I have a place that you want to be. Not only where you want to be, but where we will actually be celebrating Miss Lady K's birthday. Hey.
Uh-oh. Yes, and it's a whole bunch of a million other people too.
Right, exactly. I'll say, and a shout out to Tanja White. Feliz cumpleaños, chica. She knows what that means. If you're not Spanish, I'm not Spanish, but I in two tongues. So there you go. But this Saturday, on the 14th of April, at approximately 10 p.m. going until about 3 a.m. on Sunday morning at Karma DC, which is at 2221 Adams Place Northeast, Washington, D.C. There's an Afro Soca Love event going on. And you're probably like, Afro Soca, what's that? So let me tell you, it's a multicultural celebration of love that's coming right here to our nation's capital. It's an Afro-Caribbean, which Afro Soca. Soca stands for Southern Caribbean, and Afro stands for African. So it's an Afro-Caribbean rave-infused celebration of love, and there's a unique rave-inspired atmosphere. So if you ever been to a rave and get to wave your lights around and be like, woo, and you're like, oh, look at all the pretty colors, this is going to be your event. Or if you just want to hear Afro Soca music, this is going to be your event as well. So with this, it has an African Caribbean twist to it. And so there are going to be some fun-filled activities there that will leave you yearning for more. Mm-hmm. And what they're doing is they're wanting to promote unity amongst all people, which I'm all about inclusiveness.
Right.
So they're wanting to promote unity while sharing African and Caribbean culture, and they want to immerse you all, everybody that's there, in a memorable experience. You can go on to www.afrosocalove.com. That's F as in Frank, ROS as in Sam, OC as in Charlie, ALOV as in Victor, E.com, www.afrosocalove.com, and find out more information. I believe the tickets now are available at $30.
Right.
Because it's like the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the last minute. They've been advertising for months.
Right.
So they started it. And by the way, people, they started it at like $12.
Yeah, we missed out on that part.
We did. We missed the $12 option.
Yeah,
I wanted that.
Oh gosh.
But it was $12 all the way up, and then you could even reserve a table, which we thought about doing, and they were like,
It was $450, but I think that they're probably even out of tables. There's only 2 tables at the time, which was like 3 or 4 days ago when I called, and so yeah, I'm sure the tables are gone too. But it had a great perk with it, But it's just whether you wanted to spend that type of money just to be up to the front, it's usually a personal thing. But are you finished with that? Because we have a few more minutes left, and I finally found this information I wanted to say real quick, and then we're going to start to close out.
I'm all done, Lady K. So I'm going to hand it over to you, boo.
Thank you, Mr. Girl. T. I apologize. I had to get myself in order here.
Do your thing.
But what I really want to do is go back to the Baltimore to Bermuda trip that we were talking about earlier. The conference call, like I said, is going to be on Saturday, April the 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern. The call-in number is 641-715-0632. The access code is 133706. Call and listen in if you're interested in coming on the cruise. Like I said, it's going to be from June 8th through the 13th in 2019. On that phone call, we'll be talking about the payment plans. We'll be talking about all the great things that are going to be happening in that week stretch. And I'm going to be the moderator, of course. And then the host will be Dr. Larry Concierge White. And then we have Venetia Boyd, sis, who is the actual coordinator for all the travel arrangements. So all 3 of us are going to actually be on that call, plus many other people that you will meet who will actually be speaking, doing speaking engagements, work empowerments, the whole 9 yards. They'll be on the cruise with us. So if you're interested, please chime in, like I said, on Saturday. Again, it's April the 14th, 4 p.m. The number is 641-715-0632. Access code is 133706. And now, I think we're gonna stop with some of this part of the show. Like I said, we only have a few more minutes. I mean, me and T could talk probably another hour or two, but unfortunately,
we could.
Unfortunately, that's not a part of the show. We can't do that. So, the one thing we'd like to normally close out with is we always talk about a moment of inspiration, and really, what we really hear on this part is about people sitting back and thinking about how their lives are and what inspires them, and how some days we all have rough patches and you just need that hug. Well, we hope that today, we inspired all of you by just talking about our topic of discussion, which is your word is bond, and how personal, we took that personal ride with Mr. T on that, as well as we took the professional ride with me. And, it's just one of those things where everybody has those moments where you sit back and think about what you've been through. Today could have been a good day, today could have been a bad day, but we hope that we inspired you in some type of way with our program tonight, and hope that the information we provided was valuable. What do you think about that, Mr. T?
I love it, and I actually have a thought to share, which doesn't, I don't know if it goes along with our theme for today, but it struck me when I heard it this week.
Okay.
And I just feel like I need to share it.
Well, that's what we're about. It's moments with Mr. T, right? It's a moment.
So you're right. Moments with Lady K and Mr. T.
There you go.
So I want to dedicate this to a comic. Her name is Michelle Buteau. And she said this, and when I heard this, I said, that's for me, and that's also for somebody else. Mm-hmm. So if you're that somebody else, this is for you. And she said this in something on YouTube that I found from her. She said this: if they don't want to hear from you, let them hear about you.
I like that.
So there you go. That was it.
I like that.
I'm giving the credit. So there it is.
Well, the thing I love about it is that people can utilize that any way that they want. They can think about it and put it in their own thought process. So I'm not going to dive into it because we're so short on time. But, I just want to say before we close out, Dr. Larry White, I just want to tell you hello. I'm sorry that we couldn't get you on tonight.
Hi.
We will bring you back. I promise you that, and I hope that I provided enough information. And for those who are interested in learning anything else about Dr. Larry White Sr., I also wanted to mention that, you can go to his VIPeVentsConcierge.com upcoming events. That's at www.VIPeVents Concierge, which is CONCIERGE.com /upcoming-events/. So if you want to learn more about him, learn about all the events that we have going on in the area, we have a lot going on in the month of April, May. We got some things coming out in the summertime. So, we'll keep you posted because we will be back soon. I think, Lady K and the Miss T show, we are going to be a full-fledged show come towards the end of this year and the early part of next year. What we've been doing is giving you guys a taste of who we are and what to expect. The next live show will be in June and July time frame. So we're going to be pushing out some more. We got some fan people already. So we're really excited about that. And the one thing I wanted to say real quick before we close out too is that the next time we have a show, if you guys have any questions or you want to become a special guest, you can reach out to me or to Mr. T. We both have our own Facebook pages, so you're more than welcome to look me up. My real name, of course, is Kimberly McLemore. For those who don't know who I am, that's McLemore is the last name. You can find me, like I said, on all of my Facebook. I've got a personal page. I've got 3 business pages, whatever. So, hey, we're out there. And then, of course, Tarek, you want to tell them how they can find you?
Yes, you can find me on Move with T, MOVEWITHTEE @gmail.com. Same thing, Move with T, LLC on Facebook. Or just look for me on Tarek Scott, TERYCK, Tarek Scott, traditional spelling on Facebook.
All right. All right. Well, this is the part I hate the most. I mean, it is 8 o'clock. Oh, man, how quickly that hour goes by. But,
I know.
we have come to the end of the show. And, as I always say, I truly enjoy spending time with you, Mr. T.
And I enjoy spending time with you and all of our listeners. And they should remember that we're coming for them in the summer.
That's
coming
right.
for y'all in the summer.
That's right. I hope y'all liked our new logo because it's out there now. Ooh, I'm so excited about the logo. It's just fabulous,
It's popping. It's popping.
That's right. And thank you for putting that together too. I mean, you are the man. So I appreciate
Muchas gracias,
that.
chica.
All righty then. Smooches to you. We're out, everybody. You all have a wonderful rest of the evening. We'll see you next time. Mwah.
Good night, everyone. We will be back next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Follow us on Spreaker, www.spreaker.com/user/WSBI. View our new WSBI website anytime at www.wsbillc.com and on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.